Hey everyone, welcome back. It's only been a week since our last show, but we are back with Dad, and it looks like we're looking at some mountain blocks this week. Dad, tell us what we're looking at right now.
That's two of the base camps. Yeah, I think I got two base camps. Actually, let me correct myself. Santa Claus brought two base camps to my kids. I got to be careful what I say. They pick up on that stuff real quick. They're not here, but
They must have been some good kids this year.
man, I've got great kids. They really are great. They're amazing. I'm lucky to be their dad. Um, but I thought a little bit. I'd run cars around a little bit while we talk for a little while.
Yeah, always down to watch some crawling. I've seen some of the mountain blocks on Instagram, and they look like you can set up some pretty awesome lines with them.
They're really cool, man. I I've kind of watched other people how they have them set up, and I try to copy what I see because I've seen some pretty cool lines with them. But I don't know. I definitely want some more. I want to be able to go up taller.
Yeah, that
But
looks like fun where you have the multiple levels all stacked on each other.
yes, and I mean, with what I have, I can only go too high right now. I can go. I guess I could go three, but it'd go nowhere. What have you been up to? You had to work today, I guess.
Yeah, work today. I've been working a lot on the Tacoma this week. I got this for Christmas and I just haven't been able to leave it alone since. Yeah, we've
So
got X Lewis RC in the chat. Thanks for
what's up?
joining us, Eric.
What's up, Eric? I haven't even looked at my iPad yet. Let me get it turned on. Um,
Thanks for joining us. So, yeah, I've been working this week. Got a lot of parts rolling in soon, hopefully. So I've got some. I can't remember if I showed these last week. The RC all-wheel drive or RC four-wheel drive tires for the 30. So I've got those. Got some wheels on the way now as of this morning. Got some shocks for the Tacoma, and then the Pikachu Bronco build called the Broncachu. That is starting. That build is actually starting tomorrow.
okay.
Hey, Joe Gunn, thanks for joining us.
All right. So we got Eric in here. We got Joe Gunn. Who else? We got six people in here.
Hey,
I can't.
everybody, chime in. Let us know where you're watching from. So yeah, I talked a little bit about this, but um, done some detail painting. Took the bed out, painted it black because it just looked a whole lot better with that black rather than all this plastic red. Uh, Made the wire mesh on the roof rack silver. Painted the door handles and the antenna on the roof, and then tried a new process. I don't know if this will show up on the webcam, but flocked the interior. So gave it
Yeah.
a two
So I
tone.
saw you the start of that. How'd that turn out?
I've learned a lot of what not to do. So it looks okay when you're out on the rocks. But if you take it out and actually look at it, it looks a little sloppy. But I'm going to do a video, a how to video on that soon. Because I've got another interior from a Bronco that we can just put some flocking on, because I think that'll be a cool effect. Because this is going in the chop top Bronco someday when I finish that.
So yeah, just play with that one and see how it turns out. Find the steps that you like.
Yeah, and I did this with Mod Podge, so I could take the interior back out and just wash the flocking off and redo it real nice. But honestly, um, through the windows you can't really tell, so it's fine. I'll probably end up just leaving it.
Nice. So I still don't have a Tacoma yet. I've got one on the way. I've bought one.
I know you do. It's been sitting close to you for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been sitting like 85, 90 miles away from me for a hot minute since
Yeah,
the
that's frustrating.
like the 18th of December. It's been sitting that far away from me. I've contacted Fair RC. They know. They're they're aware of the problem. They've talked to the shipper, but I've not been updated on it since then. Like where it is, what's going on, when I'm going to get it. I have no update for it yet.
And that's the Black Mamba Fair RC mod.
It is.
That's going to be so cool when it arrives. And it still the brushed setup inside? It just has
I,
some visual mods.
I believe so. I don't think it's brushless. I think it has some, what is it, Batrazi stuff on it, some wheels and shocks maybe,
Yeah, I think so. And of course, they painted it.
and they painted it.
Yeah, that's going to be a cool truck. And after driving and messing with mine, I think they're worth going brushless. So I'm going to be looking at that at some point. And honestly, I think the secure brushless setup that I reviewed and that I've told you about, I don't know if you've had a chance to try one out yet, but I think that would be a great little setup for the Tacomas because they're not super heavy trucks. I guess you could make them that way, but they don't have to be, and they're basically Gladiator wheelbase, so they're very capable on climbs.
How is that stock motor in it?
It's not bad. It's a 50 turn, so I mean you lack some of the torque and power that you get with brushless, but with the two-speed transmission, you've got plenty of wheel speed, and the ESC is actually really, really smooth. So it's about as good as a brush setup as you could hope to get.
Okay. Transmission is a 2-speed, you said?
Yeah, it's got the two-speed just like the FCX 18s.
Okay.
So it's a decent little trail truck too. If you want to take it out walking, it's right out about walking pace that it'll run. Oh, hitting some hard lines. Almost had that.
Almost had it.
Yeah,
The
what are you?
I'm watching it on my iPad, and so it's like
Yeah,
got a 20-second delay, so I can go back
right.
and watch instant replay.
That's right. Tell us about the setup on that truck.
All right, so this is the RC Crawler Craze can opener chassis.
That's such a cool looking chassis.
It really is a cool chassis. It'd be better off if I had not used the Furatech seater in it. If I'd have just gone with like the what is it, micro Komodo, I'd have been better off. It kind of pushes this chassis rail out a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I see. It's just a little bit big.
Just a little big, um, but it works for right now. I did the +4 axle extensions on this from Hot Racing, and then it's got Hot Racing brass knuckles on the front, brass links, the Hot Racing brass skid. It's got the rear wheel weights, the axle weights for the rear. Um, this was just the ground up build. I ordered axles for it and got this thing thrown together yesterday or the day before. I'm pretty happy
Nice,
with it.
very. Yeah, that's a great looking little build. And Tilta Tomsky joined us. Joe
What's
had
up,
a
Mom?
question in the chat. He asked how the steering servo on the 24M is, and it's okay. It's plenty fast actually. It's not the strongest. It does have a servo saver, so for a stock servo, it's held up to the extra weight from the wheels, which is all I've done to it so far. Um, I do want to replace it though. I want to order a new one. Just I hate the weak servos with the servo saver, so it's good for now. But I do want to upgrade in the future. Yeah, keep telling us about the truck. How's it perform with that chassis and all the brass on it?
It's night and day different from a stock rig. Uh, Night and day different. But me see if I can get it over here on a good side wheel. I mean,
That is, my Jeep would not hit that for sure. Those are some crazy steep lines you're heading with that. And yeah, Joe, the servo is definitely not the strongest, but it's not as bad as an SCX24 servo. So I'll say that much. But yeah, it's still a weak servo. There we go. Got that thing running topless now. Is this comp mode for that truck?
working. It just moved the whole
Yeah,
fork over.
Yeah, plenty of power with brushless in that thing.
It does not like its little hole right there.
Yeah, it's that rear wheel. It wants to do it though. I bet there's a line there. I'm actually just walked in watching you try to make this line. This is, I think you might have it here, kind of straddled in that gap there. If it has the breakover, get up under the cardboard, but looks like you're kind of slipping.
The car
That was close.
Almost
Yeah.
To get up on.
Yeah, it's too slick. I think you could get it if you had decent traction.
My little girl gets up, like when she drives, she gets up there every time she tries. I don't know what she does. I think she just pins it to win.
Yeah, just when in doubt, throttle out. That's for sure.
Yes.
And Jill Tomsky, this is up tomorrow. This is my project on my day off tomorrow. So hopefully I will get this thing put together pretty quickly tomorrow because I did have it built as a Bronco before. So I know my way around the chassis. The links are all on it. Just got to put all the works back together. And I'm actually going to use a new to me servo. I ordered one of the PTK servos.
I want to look. Do you have it with you?
Yeah, let me open it up.
I've never used a PTK servo yet.
I haven't either, so I'm excited to try it because it's got good specs and everybody says it's decent for the price. Let me see which way.
I think on Tom was talking about them today on his.
On the news update, yeah, I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, it's funny. His weather report is great. I loved his weather report.
Okay, I'm going to be doing some wrenching on the Tacoma after we get off our show, so I will turn that on and watch it. And Tomsky's got has had 6 of the PTKs, so I'm excited to spend a little less money on a good servo. And speaking of servos, I saw that Injora released a 15 kilogram coreless servo, so even more power than the 11 kilogram, which has been my go-to servo for a while.
They released a 14 kilogram servo?
15 kilogram.
15 kilogram. Is that
Yeah,
their
let me see if I can pull it up.
What color is it?
It's black also, just like the 11.
That's a pretty torquey little servo.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the INSJ15. Let me share the screen.
All right, I think my weight on the rear axles is preventing me from making that climb.
It might be, yeah.
Like I like having that weight there because it like drags that back end down. But
right? Yeah, I'm sharing the screen now, and on from Injora's website, we've got the Injora 15 kilogram coreless high torque servo for 18th and 24th. It looks to be pretty similar to the 11 kilogram. It looks the same externally. I don't know what the measurements are, but um, speed is really good. On 6 volts, it's only 0.091 seconds. Only runs up to 7.4 volts, which is interesting. But that's 0.07 seconds at 60 degrees, so that's pretty dang fast. I would like to try that on one of my builds at some point. I don't think anybody in the chat has had a chance to try one. If you have, though, drop it in the comments. What do you think of this servo? Or do you want to try it? Hey, Crawl Damage, thanks for joining us. We were just talking about the new Injora 15 kilogram servo while Dad is hitting some lines on his ground up 30 build on the mountain blocks.
oh, so close.
Oh, yeah, I think it might be that rear axle weight is.
That rear axle weight is just not letting it.
Yeah, it doesn't have the breakover.
Yeah, it's maybe time to get the tungsten cubes out on the front axle.
Yep, that might fix you right up.
And because it makes this climb right here, which is almost the same climb. It just doesn't have the.
Yeah, it doesn't have that inch or two vertical right at the end where you have that hard corner, hard breakover angle. I think you've nailed the approach up here. It looks pretty planted up to that point.
It's just sucking down to the rock. That's what it's doing. Right
Yeah,
now.
it is. It's just you're dropping a wheel off into that hole, and that makes it really hard to recover from.
Yeah, it just will. It doesn't want to pull that wheel up out of that hole.
We really need some overdrive, underdrive gears for this thing, and I'm sure they're in the works.
They got to be because one of the GPM Racing or somebody, they have replacement stock worm gears for the axles.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that probably means they're working on some overdrive, underdrive too.
Somebody's got to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a game changer for these little rigs. They just keep blowing me away. I went out crawling with a buddy from work Friday afternoon, and I brought along like 4 or 5 24s, but we just played with our 30s the whole time. They're so much fun.
I'm loving these 30s. I have more. I find myself wanting to drop them and not the 24s mostly, you know.
Yeah, they're easy to take anywhere. I took mine to trivia at the brewery last week and was just crawling during trivia. There were other guys. Yeah, there were other guys filming me while I was filming myself crawling.
That's funny.
Yeah, they're so much fun to just take anywhere. They're capable inside or outside. And I took some screenshots of somebody else that did some painting on the details on the Jeep, some of these scale accessories. So I think I'm going to do that to mine because I've just been in a painting mood lately.
So I don't know if you saw my Bronco body, but I weathered it pretty hard. Like did some weathering on it and made it look muddy.
I'm not
So
sure I have seen that.
this is a pocket snake chassis. I had to make sure which one I had. With
And
a
yeah,
Godzilla, or what's the Mofo 30, Neo Beast 30?
the Neo Beast 30.
Yeah.
And hey, Jason Earl, thanks for joining us. And yeah, Joe Gunn says the radio is 3 times the size of the truck. That is a problem, and I've seen people chopping their radios up to make them pocket size. Have you seen that yet?
I have. I've seen that. It's pretty cool.
It is. I honestly thought about doing it to mine because it is it is harder to carry the controller around than the actual truck.
Yeah, the truck will go in your pocket.
Yeah. Oh, almost had it with that one. I learned something about the SCX30s today. Of course, we all have probably seen that they released some new parts for the 30 this morning. One of those being a servo, and it has a standard size connector. Well, I'm looking at mine, and I've got the Jeep. I've only got the micro connectors.
Not for your servo.
Uh huh.
Are you kidding me? No,
Yeah.
no. That black and gray wire is a full size connection. Pull that out. That black and gray wire.
Oh.
And it should be a full size connector.
I'm dumb. I didn't learn anything today. I learned that I don't know my own truck.
You had me going there for a second. Like, how did you get one with a micro connector?
So what are these? It says STR. Oh, the LEDs. Wow.
Yeah, and it shows you.
Good call. Thanks for pointing that out.
That other part showing you the polarity of your servo wire.
I see. That makes sense.
It's really confusing looking at it from the side.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, everybody can use that servo. I don't know my own truck, so we'll forget all of that. And crawl damage, yeah. I wasn't the only one confused, apparently. So that's good to know. So when the servo shows up in 3 days to a month, like they say online, I'll be able to plug it in right away. So I'm excited about that. And that's all I've been holding off on for putting brass and such on this thing is I didn't want to burn out the servo until we had a decent replacement option.
Yeah, I'm on servo number 2 with this rig right here that I'm driving right now.
Right. Yeah, I know. Those the stock servo's fine for unmodified trucks, but like all axial stuff, as soon as you put some brass on it, you need to upgrade.
I had it up there on the top for a second.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the SCX30 servo, and it's got a operating voltage of 5 to 6 volts. So that's a little disappointing that it's only 6 volts max. And the speed is that's the no load speed is 0.05 seconds. That's pretty quick. And the stall torque is 1.3 kilograms. So that's a big upgrade. I think the stock one is 2 grams, if I remember.
The stock
servo SCX30.
Now, did you see?
Let me share my.
Today, when Injora released theirs, they did a video today on, I guess it was on Instagram, but they showed like a stock servo lifting the rear end up, like they're holding it by the front tires. They were doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did see that.
Like theirs did.
Yeah, let me stop sharing my screen so we can see what you're doing.
It didn't even turn it, so it doesn't matter. Like this thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Like they showed
it's
the
not a
stock
very
servo
strong
kicking
servo.
apart.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I have
But
the
then they
battery.
showed their servo doing it too. So I don't know. I'm ready
No,
to
I
see.
don't have the battery in mine. 'Cause I was going to do the same test. Joe wants to see your magnet mount setup.
On mine?
Yeah, show
All
us
right.
how you've got that set up.
So I still use the little rear
Like slot.
sex organ.
I
We
actually
call them
like that.
sex organs.
That's pretty
Male
good.
and female sex organs.
Yeah.
So it slides in, and then I just have two little magnets up front.
Okay. Yeah, that's clean. Do you like that better than the clicky, like rip?
So the clip wasn't working with this. I couldn't
Yeah,
figure out how to put the clip in there, and his comes with a magnet mount.
I
I
think I'd
honestly
prefer.
would rather have the clip. These magnets slide because
Oh,
magnets don't pull
interesting.
apart easy, but they slide apart easy. And so what tends to happen is I'll get it in there, get it magneted, and then like if I get any if I hit the bumper on a rock, it pushes it back. Now the back's
Oh,
not in.
right.
So and it never
Ah,
lines back up until I stop and
okay.
put it back on. So I'm gonna have to figure out something else. I may put I had Velcro up there before, and I don't like Velcro, but Velcro may be the better
Hmm.
option.
Yeah, it might be in that case. Joe said no on the front of Michael's. Um,
Okay.
I've just got a tungsten weight taped under there, so no magnets. I'm just using the stock mounts. I just taped a tungsten weight because I wasn't sure I wanted to keep it there, and I'll probably take it out once I start getting tires and other weight here because it does raise the center of gravity a bit, but it's actually really convenient place to put some weight.
So on one of my kids' builds, I took tungsten cubes and just super
Uh-huh.
glued to the axles on each side of the servo, and that seemed to work.
Yeah, I've done similar. I've got tungsten putty. The only bad thing about tungsten putty is it never dries, so it keeps oozing down my axles. I have to keep shoving it back up.
Can you not harden it with like some glue or a hard paint hardener or something?
You probably could, but the other nice thing about tungsten putty is it never hardens, so you can keep moving it around from rig to rig.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just doing that as a temporary thing. Um, but I do have some wheels on the way from Injora. I was one of the lucky ones that woke up in time to order some wheels before they sold out. So I've got the 6-spoke titanium wheels coming for my Jeep. Let me pull those up and share the screen. I wanted the 5-spoke, but those were already sold out. And then I think all the wheels sold out pretty quick after
Yeah, I got
I
a few
found them.
sets right after you did, and when I went back, they were gone.
Yeah, they didn't last long, and that was about 8:45 this morning. But yeah, those are the 7.7-inch 6-spoke aluminum wheels, and they are the titanium finish. They also will restock with black, and they do have 5-spoke version, same color options, titanium or black. I really like the 5-spoke, but those were gone in titanium, and I'd rather have titanium.
So I also ordered a couple of sets of drift wheels from Amazon, but I got them in 20 millimeter instead of 18. I
Okay.
tried some other 18 millimeter wheels that I just couldn't get them the bead to set on them.
Uh-huh.
And they were true bead locks, so I was really disappointed about that. They were the similar wheels to these. These are Orlando Hunter wheels, uh, and they were the kind of like the 6-shooter style with a looked like a cylinder for
Okay. Yeah, kind of like the revolver.
yeah. But I cannot get those to beat like any of the beads to set on any of these .7 tires.
That's a bummer.
They set on they go on these, but not the others.
Huh,
So
how strange. I know that
yeah,
happens from time to time, but I've never had that big of an issue with it. So I'm hoping my RC four-wheel drive tires will mount up well on the Injora tires, which I've done this brand combination before, so I think it should be okay.
yeah. If I mean .7 is .7. If they're
Yeah,
these wheels aren't from Orlando Hunter. They're labeled as 18 millimeter bead locks.
yeah, and
So
that's close, but it isn't
it's
quite the same.
not the same. So uh, the 18 millimeter tends to be a little smaller than .7 for whatever
Hmm.
reason. I haven't done the exact math to figure out what it's supposed to be, but
And what shocks have you used so far on your 30s? I'm still running stock shocks, and I know it came out with a couple options, the longest being 26 millimeters, which I think is just going to be too long. What are your thoughts?
um, the 26 millimeter tire or wheels will help in clearing some of those RC four-wheel drive tires.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Every
Um,
upgrade does have a trade-off, and sometimes you need the right height.
right. Uh, these are Proline, the what 21 or 21 and a halfs. Is that what it? I think 21 and a half.
Yeah, I think Proline does 21 and a half and 25.
Right. So these are the 21 and a halves. I have a set of Hot Racing or maybe Hot Racing or Next. I don't remember. Whoever, one of those companies dropped some 26 millimeter shocks, and I have several sets of those coming. I am
Yeah, I think
tempted.
Injora did 26 millimeters. Maybe somebody else has too.
I'm really tempted to run the 26 on the back of this one and move up to
Uh-huh.
this next line of shock mounting spots. Lay that shock over a little more, maybe get a little more travel in the rear. Um, I don't know though. I'm gonna play with it. If if something comes out, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, that let it keep us updated. 'Cause I think for my Jeep, the 22 and a half millimeter from Injora is probably what I'm leaning towards. But
Okay.
I will maybe reassess after I get my wheels and tires on there.
So one of the things that I really enjoy about this chassis is where the shock mounts are. They're not to the outside of the chassis; they're to the inside of the chassis, which helps put
Oh,
that
that's
outward
cool.
angle to the bottom, to where the shock. I always like to do like a smaller spacer at the top of my shock and maybe kick them out a little further at the bottom.
Hmm.
This chassis does it for you automatically, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. So I'm just showing mine in comparison. Of course, we've got our shocks to the outside of the chassis rail. But that's pretty interesting that that changes the geometry of the shocks. And yeah, I think that is a good setup. It helps get more triangles under the truck, which I understand is a good thing.
Yeah, but all right. So we've covered a lot of stuff about 30s tonight.
Yeah,
Um,
that's everybody in the 30s. Every time I open up Instagram or YouTube, it's more SCX30 stuff, which I'm loving it.
it's been fun watching them. I'm gonna pop the 24 out here for a minute.
Tom did the bumper mount delete on his 30, and then it dawned on him he's not doing another upgrade. Not a fan of the Phillips screws. And I don't, the rear tire delete. I don't mind the screws too bad. I was the kid that took my toys apart for fun when
Yep,
I was younger, so I've been doing this for a while. Yeah, there's that Miata. I love seeing that thing. That's a 24, correct?
that is.
That's one of Eric's designs.
Yes.
Yeah, that is such a cool body. What link setup do you have on that thing?
Right now it's Gladiator. That's about to change. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna go to a deadbolt rear.
Okay, yeah, I think that'll. It looks
It'll.
cool now, but it definitely will line up with the wheel arches better.
And there's
And
nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't look right. I mean,
right,
it
right.
performs. It just doesn't look right.
And Joe, yeah, some of us have much older eyes. I'm starting to feel that too. I was doing some detail painting and I had to break out the headlamp and turn that on so I could see what I was doing, even though I had overhead light on and several lamps in the room on. So yeah, I definitely get it. Yeah, there we go. Made that climb no problem that the 30s just could not conquer. Oh,
Oh man.
took the express route down.
Yeah, elevator straight to the bottom.
That's right. But driving the 24s after spending a lot of time with the 30s, they feel huge in comparison. And it's a much bigger jump than from 24 to 18, I feel.
Oh, it's crazy different. Like, and it shouldn't be. I mean, they should be the same proportion. You know.
Right. It's funny. This the Gladiator wheelbase on the 24s is the same wheelbase as a lot of the 18s. The bodies are just bigger, so it doesn't feel that different. But going from 30 to 24, it's a different game. You got to look at the lines different. Just perfectly balancing that weight with that servo on that gnarly wheel. That's good driving right there. See if you can get that front end to stay planted, make that turn all the way up.
Yeah.
How's the traction on those mountain blocks? It From videos I've
Like
seen, it
real,
looks
even better than real. Like they don't. It's. Let's see. I mean,
yeah. Eric's giving you a hard time for the Gladi links.
for what? For the
For the
gladiator
gladiator
link?
links, yeah.
we I laughed about it with him last night. I was like, I don't know why I did this. It's gonna change.
That's just infinite departure angle hack in my book.
Absolutely.
And if
I'll
you
say
got
this.
kids
You
that
were
like
asking about.
RC, get some 143rd drift cars. I've seen some videos of those 143rd drift cars, and they look so much fun. I might have to grab one. I used to do the X mods, Radio Shack X mods back in the day, and those were kind of drift cars. So yeah, I agree. That would be a lot of fun to play with the kids.
What scale is it?
It's 143rd scale drift cars. So
Ooh.
I think Money Pit did a video or two on a tiny little drift car, and then Kevin Talbot has done, and they pretty feature packed little things.
Are they like ready to run cars? Or are they
Yeah,
little?
yeah. I don't think there's much you can do to work on them. They're tiny, but yeah,
Okay.
they're ready to run cars. Some of them have lights. I think I've seen some with gyros, so pretty cool.
Who makes them?
I don't know. Tom, throw the HBX maybe. He says son has HBX Lambo drift cars. Oh, $30 on AliExpress. Well, I know what I'm getting my wallet out for next. He's showing us some. Oh, here we go. Got a cliffhanger doing some no image type lines. What servo are you running in that thing?
NSDRC, purple.
Yep, that's a good one. I would say you're not running an Emax for sure. Oh, that was nice. I don't do, but when I see a super cool build and then it's running an Emax under it, I just think that's a shame that it's such a cool build deserves a little bit better servo than an Emax.
I bought some Emax servos one time, and it was for, I did an any level lift on
Uh-huh.
a dually build, which I still haven't finished. I've got to shorten all the wires on it. And I need to get that build out and revisit it. But that's the only thing I've ever done Emax servos on was that.
I had an Emax on my Power Wagon once. And Tomsky's chiming in that the little drift cars are fully proportional. That's really cool for $30. Everyone go spend $30 and we'll all post our drifting videos. And yeah, Tomsky, we have all Max servo. It technically is an upgrade, so it is better than stock, but I like my servos to break things. Man, these mountain blocks, I might need to get a set of these because watching you on camera is making me want to try some of those lines with my rigs.
But the thing that and that's why I'm just going to break down and get some more sets of it, is there's only so much you can do, and then you got to change it up to get new lines. Where if you had several sets of them, like the big set, the big kit of them, there's infinite number of lines, like at your disposal right then. So
never get bored. Always mix it up. And Joe says he keeps a 3-pack of Emax in a backpack for emergency trail repairs. And yeah, that's a good use for an Emax.
My problem is if I go out to the rocks like somewhere else, I normally take like 10 to 12 cars. So if I have a servo go out, I just get another car out.
That's right. Yep, that's also one way to do it.
And then I get to drive. I don't have to sit there and wrench while I'm out in the field. But
yeah, I've done that, and it's not the most enjoyable thing to do.
It's been a long time since I've gone somewhere and worked on a car instead of driven it. I mean, that's back when I lived in Denver at the crawl.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Space. That was Kaka's old shop in Denver.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's the same guy I now know from my local hobby shop. He's here in Oklahoma now.
Yeah. Small world.
And Joe, yeah, I ain't loaning a buddy an NSDRC. There's a few people I would lend that to. I've learned not everybody should be handed the high quality rig.
I don't need high quality rigs. I'll tear them up.
For anybody that's joined us late, recap a little bit. The Bronco Chew build is happening tomorrow. Hopefully I will get this all put together. My big challenge will be trying to dye the axles yellow. So I've got some lemon yellow dye, and I'm going to try what 24 Yep has already demonstrated, and I'm going to dye the white Mias V2 nylons yellow to match the body. So that's going to be my project for tomorrow.
Have you ever used that red dye before?
I have not. So it's going to be a first for me. if Trey can do it, I feel like I can do it.
Yeah, I'll just say this: that stuff makes a mess. If whatever it gets on, it's on.
Oh yeah, it's not coming off of anything. So
No.
um, I'm going to try to be very careful with it. And Tomsky, yeah, haul a bunch of rocks into the house. Yeah, that's. I've thought about doing the same. My wife has been pretty tolerant, so I'm not going to push my luck because I've got a full rock backyard course. But yeah, the mountain blocks definitely have a price tag that reflects their quality.
One of the things about these mountain blocks, so they're all spread out right now, but they just all stack up. Like they don't have
Oh,
to take
that's
up a bunch
cool.
of space. All of this will fit back into that box. Now that there's
Yeah,
material in the box.
that
And
is pretty cool because I use foam, and this is just the one little section, and it takes up the whole room no matter what.
you can't take your phone down, can you? It's like what
Nope.
you have built is there, right?
Yeah, exactly. I've got a few pieces of it that I rearranged to try to get new lines, but yeah, it's the way it's always going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, one because so my kids' mountain blocks are over there at my mom's house, which is it's in my neighborhood, just right around the corner from me. But it gave something for my kids to do other than play on iPads inside. Like,
Hmm.
tired of the constant iPad stuff. And so,
That is one of the reasons I decided to get back into RC, so I would have less screen time. But now I'm doing YouTube, so I think that might have been a wash.
yeah, I hear that.
I
Well,
don't think we've talked much about what's going on in the 24 scale world. Um, do you know of any new releases that we need to be talking about? Anybody that's
hold on.
watching or in the chat, drop a message if there's something that we are not talking about that we should be, because I'm sure
Hunter
there's still stuff going on.
Hunter dropped his V4 this week, and they sold out in minutes. Uh,
Oh, okay, I
IERC.
didn't. I had missed that.
Have you seen IERC? I
I
think
don't
they may
think
have
so.
a 24 scale chassis coming out soon. They do 18th scale stuff and maybe some 10th scale stuff. Um,
Okay, right on.
and I believe I saw something that they have a 24 scale rig coming out. So,
I am not familiar with them, so yeah, I'm gonna have to check them out. IERC, and I'm looking at their webpage right now. They've got a lot of cool stuff. They've got some really awesome beadlock rings. Looks for multiple different styles of beadlock. So yeah, glad to know, but my wallet won't be happy.
right.
That makes for some cool stuff because after I finish the Broncachew, my next build is finally getting started on this Datsun body, and I'm going to be using Tom's uh, hand cut chassis. I think I'm going to try something different with this. I was watching um, Tall Paul, which was in the chat earlier. I don't know if I shouted him out. SRQ Crawling was in the chat, and he's got a cool setup that he found on Etsy for rear suspension that I would like to try, where the shocks are in line mounted towards the interior of the chassis.
Kind of like on some of the WT Micro chassis.
Yeah, exactly, kind of like that.
Yeah.
And
At the
so
back.
to me, it looks like it allows the back axle to flex really well, but since the shocks are kind of drooped in together, they can't extend the full range at the same time because of their angle. So yeah, I think
Okay.
it's going to limit the back drop while still providing a huge amount of articulation up and down.
Okay. So it almost acts like a
Kind of like a limiting strap setup with the
yeah.
shocks. Yeah. So if you
Okay.
if you haven't seen it, go watch SRQ's video. He did a whole video on that truck and that setup, and it's really cool to see. And I hadn't seen anything quite like that for just a normal SCX 24, but you can find it on Etsy and order that piece for like $8, and it just relocates where your shocks mount.
Okay. And does SRQ make it, or did he?
No, he bought it off Etsy and just built a truck with it.
So who's making it?
Um,
Whose Etsy shop is
I
it?
I don't remember. I'll have to go
I'll look at it.
look in chat log with him. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Or if you're still in the chat with us, SRQ.
SRQ, are you in here?
Here we go. I have found it. It is called an SCX 24 inboard suspension mount made by Quail Pop Shop. I'll just turn the phone around. This is what you're looking for. SCX 24 inboard suspension mount made by Quail Pop Shop, and $7. And so that's kind of what I was describing poorly, how the shocks can move independent from each other, but they can't move at the same time to full droop. So I think that's an interesting setup that I want to experiment with. I'm thinking on my Datsun build, I'm going to do stock Power Wagon shocks on the front, and then maybe some 43 double barrels on the back, which I
It'd
know
be cool
everyone hates.
to maybe like internally spring that shock.
That would be really sick. Yeah, I think I might have to do that because every build I do, I want to do something different, and I think that'll be way different than any other setup that I have because I'm kind of fallen into a rut and I need to do something new to me. So yeah, little short shocks on the front, and then I'm thinking inboard setup on the rear with maybe some 43s and just have crazy flex on the back end.
That'd be cool.
I think it would
And
be.
that's Tom's chassis, right? Tom's hand cut
Yep.
chassis?
Yep. I got that from Tom along with the Pikachu Bronco body.
Tom,
He
I
did
need a
this.
chassis someday. I
Yeah,
want
you
one
need
of
to
your hand
give.
cut chassis.
I'm excited to use it.
And he's the one that he originally did that body, right? You got that body
Yeah,
off?
he did this body. All I've done to it is add the like lightning around Pikachu around the windows. All the cartoon styling was there. I just added some white highlights to it
Okay.
and then touched up with black because some of it had a little bit of rock rash, which it'll come back. I'm not going to keep this thing as a shelf queen. I don't build shelf queens. Yeah, I'm excited to get this done, and hopefully I'll be able to have it out on the rocks by late up tomorrow.
Cool.
And Dad Tomsky says to hit him up, so
I will, buddy.
we'll be getting a chassis sent your way, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I see a lot of money I've got to spend now. I've got to get 143rd drift cars now for my kids.
That's right. This has been an expensive show.
I wouldn't have it any other way. The drift cars are going to be cool. My kids will love those because, like, here at Mom's house, like most of the house is that tall. So I can see
yeah, that's
really
perfect.
cool drift track setups coming in
Absolutely.
Mom's kitchen and living room, and
That'll be perfect for a rainy or cold day.
yeah, when they're tired of crawling on the mountain blocks.
I don't understand how you could get tired of crawling on the mountain blocks, but I guess in theory I could see that.
They're 5, 5, and 6 right now. They'll be 5, 6, and 6 on the 29th
Yeah.
of the month, and then 5, 6, and 7 in March. So yeah, they get. That's the thing that drives me nuts about the iPads is they get on them and they watch like 30 seconds of a show and then they skip to another show. 30 seconds.
Right.
Another show. They have no.
Yeah,
They can't stay hooked up. The ADHD is real with my kids.
Yeah, yep. I think that's just all kids. I'm not sure it's specific to yours.
And it's most of us
My
adults at this point, I believe, too.
Yeah, I've noticed it in myself too. That's why I try to put the phone away and wrench on these little trucks or go drive them, just step away for a while. Well, we are almost to an hour. We've been live for 55 minutes. Probably about time to start wrapping this up. What final thoughts do you have to add? I can't believe it's already been an hour.
I'm just glad to be here, brother. I had some final thoughts last week, and I touched on that. I don't want to touch on that again. Show us your 30 builds. Send us some pictures.
Yeah, tag
Send
us.
us a private message at Dad's RC Garage, at Dad's Micro RC Garage on Instagram, at RC Crawling _crawling on Instagram for Michael. Send us your stuff. Send us pictures of what you're doing this week. I think. All right, so next week we are not doing a show. I've got kids next weekend, so we'll be back on the every other week, right?
We're looking at weekend of 17th for Saturday or 18th for Sunday.
Yeah, let's. I say shoot.
I think Sundays have been Sunday. Do you say Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday would be. I like Sunday better.
I think I do too. Sundays have been working.
The only thing,
and I think people that are joining us
on live shows. So
yeah,
I don't think that RC Steve is doing the Cal RC show anymore. I think he's done with.
Oh, okay. All right. I did not know that.
I think that ran its course. I think he was the temporary host, and I think they're on somebody else. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember. I may be speaking out of turn there, but I'm pretty sure he's done with Cal RC show for now.
And Tilton Tom's going to go live and show us the drift cars. Heck yeah, I'd be down to jump over there. So yeah, don't forget to leave a comment, which I think most of you have already done. Like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and then go join Tomsky Live so we can check out these sweet little drift cars. I've seen some videos of them, but I'd love to see somebody that's had some experience with it.
Man, I got the yawns. I've got to get this packed up and cleaned up, get all my stuff boxed back up to take home, except for the mountain blocks. I got to leave them here. And but I think I'm done for the night. If I get a second, I'm going to go over and check out Tom's drift car. If I don't get on there tonight, I will watch it later if he saves it. So anyway, all right, Michael.
Yeah, it was a great show. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll do this again in 2 weeks, same time.
Sounds good.
And keep an eye on Instagram tomorrow, because you know me, once I get into the RC stuff, I've got to share steps along the way.
Absolutely. I'll be watching.
All right. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to everyone else soon.
Hi, guys. Thanks for stopping in tonight. Tom, Joe Gunn, Crawl Damage, Eric, all of you. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for spending your Sunday evening with us.
Later.